Did Disney just learn the hard way that going woke really does mean going broke? Because the Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler didn't just flop, it might have set a brand new record for Hollywood embarrassment. But it doesn't stop there. This disaster has now spiraled into bizarre internet rumors, meme wars, and even accusations that Rachel Zegler herself is secretly trying to ban old TV episodes that dared to mock her movie. It sounds crazy, right? But once you dig into the story, it actually explains a lot about where Disney, and maybe even Hollywood, has gone so wrong. Let's dive into the full mess. When Disney first announced the live-action Snow White, insiders said executives were confident it would be another billion-dollar hit. They had the formula. Take a beloved classic, sprinkle in modern messaging, cast a fresh young actress, and print money. Easy, right? Wrong. Despite a massive production budget estimated at over $200 million and a marketing campaign that plastered Rachel Zegler's face on everything from buses to Instagram ads, Snow White barely dragged in $194.8 million worldwide. That's before marketing costs, which some estimates place at another $100 to $150 million. Meaning, Disney didn't just miss profits, they're staring down a loss that could balloon to $600 million. That's not just a flop, that's an extinction-level event for a major studio tentpole. The pain wasn't limited to the US either. Internationally, Snow White got absolutely crushed. In Lebanon, the film was outright banned. In Europe, some theaters didn't even bother keeping it on their schedules past opening weekend. In Asia, barely a ripple. Audiences simply didn't care. It's rare for a Disney princess movie to completely flop internationally. Even The Little Mermaid remake, despite all its controversy, found some success in overseas markets. Snow White, on the other hand, couldn't buy a ticket if it tried. The global rejection was deafening, and the memes started immediately. Snow White disaster trended on Twitter. YouTubers ripped the film apart in long, brutal reviews. TikTok flooded with memes comparing Zegler's version of Snow White to budget Halloween costumes. The message from audiences, loud and clear. This isn't the Disney we fell in love with. But the bad news didn't stop with box office numbers. It got way worse once Rachel Zegler stepped back into the spotlight. Instead of lying low and letting the backlash burn out, Rachel became the center of a brand new controversy. Suddenly, viral posts flooded social media claiming Rachel was trying to have classic Simpsons and South Park episodes removed. Episodes that mocked Snow White-style feminism gone wrong. Wild accusations, right? But where did they come from? Here's what actually happened. An old clip from The Simpsons resurfaced. It shows a scene where Snow White is reimagined in a way that eerily mirrors the modern Snow White remake. In the parody, The Classic Seven, dwarves are replaced with diverse characters like Krabby, Hungry, and Drunky. Snow White doesn't get kissed by a prince. She's revived by a strong, independent lady doctor. The entire fairy tale is gutted and rewritten to fit modern sensibilities. And somehow, this 2009 Simpsons joke predicted almost word for word what Disney actually did with Snow White in 2024. The irony was too good. Clips went viral. Commentators had a field day. Somehow, The Simpsons had already roasted Disney's woke remake 15 years before it even existed. And that's when internet rumors caught fire. People started claiming Rachel was furious about the episode going viral and allegedly wanted it removed. But here's the reality. There's no official evidence Rachel Zegler filed a lawsuit. No credible source has confirmed she tried to have the episodes banned. No public statements from Fox, Disney, or Matt Groening say anything about takedowns. Most likely it's just internet meme culture doing what it does best, turning rumors into headlines. Still, given Rachel's history of reacting badly to criticism, it's not hard to believe that the renewed mocking struck a nerve. Because here's the thing about Rachel Zegler. She has a pattern. Way before Snow White hit theaters, Rachel was already gaining a reputation for clashing with fans and critics online. She repeatedly lectured audiences during press interviews, telling them that Snow White is no longer about true love, but about finding yourself. A statement many found smug and dismissive of the original story's charm. On social media, she snapped back at fans who criticized her comments, sometimes sarcastically telling them to stay mad. During election season, she openly mocked Trump supporters on Twitter, calling them disgusting, a move that alienated a significant chunk of potential viewers. Even when fans tried to give constructive criticism, Rachel often fired back, framing any disagreement as an attack on her personally. In today's world, where every actor's words live forever on the internet, those moments built a mountain of resentment. So when The Simpsons parody resurfaced, it was like a match dropped on a lake of gasoline. Meanwhile, other shows like South Park piled on. In one 2024 episode, South Park openly mocked Hollywood's obsession with diversity reboots, featuring a not-so-subtle knockoff of Disney princesses, who were all carbon copies of modern activist stereotypes. Fans immediately drew comparisons to Rachel's Snow White, and Rachel's name trended again for all the wrong reasons. Even if Rachel wasn't personally involved in trying to ban anything, she had become a meme, shorthand for everything fans feel Hollywood is getting wrong. And here's the bigger, scarier problem for Disney. This wasn't just about Rachel Zegler. This was about Disney's entire strategy. Audiences didn't reject Snow White because it was diverse or because it had a new message. They rejected it because it felt fake. It felt forced. It felt corporate. It felt like it was preaching to them instead of entertaining them. When you combine a beloved classic with clumsy modern messaging, half-hearted CGI, and actors who seem to resent the source material, you get exactly what Disney got: a beautiful disaster. And now, Disney faces an impossible choice. Do they continue working with Rachel Zegler, hoping she can somehow bounce back for future projects like Tangled? Or do they quietly cut ties, recast upcoming movies, and pretend this entire Snow White situation never happened? Reports already suggest Disney is nervous. According to insiders, internal meetings are being held to reassess Rachel's future at the studio. Because make no mistake, when audiences turn on a brand, it takes years, sometimes decades, to win them back. Just ask Warner Brothers after the DCEU disaster, or Sony after the Ghostbusters 2016 debacle. Disney is now dangerously close to joining that list. As for Rachel Zegler, at just 24 years old, she's learned a brutal lesson about fame in the digital age. When you become the face of a backlash, even unfairly, it sticks. No PR team can scrub it away. No carefully worded apology can erase it. No rebranding effort can magically fix it. It's part of pop culture now. Rachel Zegler isn't just the star of a failed Snow White movie. She's a case study in what happens when Hollywood loses touch with its audience, and when stars forget that fans ultimately decide their success. So now the question is simple. Is Rachel Zegler just an unlucky actress caught in the crossfire of a changing industry? Or is she a symbol of the very arrogance and detachment that audiences have grown to resent? Whatever you believe, one thing's for sure. This Snow White disaster, the box office flop, the memes, the internet wars, will be studied by Hollywood insiders for years. And maybe, just maybe, it will finally make studios think twice before rewriting beloved stories just to chase Twitter likes. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Rachel Zegler is being unfairly blamed for Snow White's failure? Or did her interviews, controversies, and attitude make things worse than they had to be? Drop your thoughts in the comments.